So again, welcome to everyone for coming today to our Tejano virtual event. We're really excited to offer this workshop. It's going to be on the Tejano origami. We have a librarian from the Northwest campus, Miss Sarah Holloway, is going to be presenting to us today on how to start with origami. So she's invited us to participate with her. So she'll be sharing with you some of the supplies you might want to just grab off your desk. I know a lot of people are at home, but they're also maybe at work. So you might have some of these supplies handy for you. So we're really excited to have this series of workshops throughout the summer. It's every Monday at 1 p.m. We have different workshops each week. So I invite you to come and see what we have to offer. And again, so today we're going to be talking about origami, and then we're going to be offering in the chat a link for the Tejano Passport program so that you'll be able to get points for your medallion. And you'll also be able to participate in a survey to let us know how we're doing. So I'd like to introduce Miss Sarah Holloway. You can go ahead and get started whenever you're ready.
Hello, everyone. I'm really happy to be here. I just started with origami about this time last year with the summer program at the Northwest Library. And in fact, that started today. And it's once again, it's virtual. And I just wanted, first of all, to for us to do some origami. And it doesn't always take origami paper. There's a book in the library that I was using that with notebook paper. So I would like you right now to go ahead and find at least 3 pages of the 8.5 by 11 paper and some scissors. We are going to do a box, which is very useful. I have a lot of my things in the box. I have several here on my table. We are going to do, this is one of my favorite ones, a basketball goal. And then this is where you can throw all those little pieces of paper that you really want to get rid of, and it'll be fun at the same time. And here's something that, here is just a simple heart. Looks like this on the back. So those are the things I'd like to do. I'm hoping that you all can just feel comfortable to watch me. But if you'd like to go ahead and get some paper and some scissors, then we'll go ahead and begin now. I'm going to just tell you a little bit about the history of origami very briefly, show you some of the designs that we've done and that we're planning to do again, some new ones for the program this summer at Northwest, and some things that I've just practiced on my own. It was a good time to do this because of most of us, all of us, mostly staying inside for the past year. We certainly weren't on campus. So that's when I decided to explore a little bit more about origami. If you have a question, feel free to interrupt me. I'd be delighted to try and answer. I'm also going to show you some links on the database. We're doing a search on the database with origami, and you'll be surprised how much information there is. Okay, first of all, we have the 8.5 by 11, and let's go ahead and put it in portrait shape form, and we'll fold it across and down vertically and horizontally. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. When you're folding origami, it becomes a skill that you practice, and I've been practicing it for a long time now. Well, as long as I've been doing this. And you want to get the edges to meet very precisely, and then you want to make the creases very crisp. So if you can run your fingernail or something along the crease. So this is what it looks like on your paper. Now, I'll fold it and show it again. You're going to take the sides and fold them to the center crease on both sides. And with this particular design, what we do on one side, we do on the other. So now I'm folding the side to the vertical crease that we already made. And then we open it up, and it looks like this. Okay, in the same way that we made these creases vertically, we're going to fold horizontally the top and the bottom towards the middle crease. And you want to get that top panel and the bottom panel right at the intersection there. YouTube just happens to be what I believe to be the best place. It's like YouTube was made for origami. And after watching these excellent teachers, some don't even speak, it's almost all visual. And if you watch, you're going to be looking over their back. So I just wanted to say that you take your time as much as you need, and they're folding so carefully and going slowly, and that's what impressed me. Now, the next fold, we're going to take each corner, all four corners, and we take this edge and fold it so it meets that crease, the crease that we originally made that was vertical. And notice that there's a space up here above it. So it doesn't meet all the way up to the part that we folded down on the top. It's not a mistake that there's a space. So I'm going to fold the rest of the corners just like that. I guess I kind of failed to mention that origami requires a flat surface, so it's not going to be holding it up and then folding it like this. That's why each time I'm putting it on the table and creasing it. This is what it looks like now. And this is a kind of a rectangular box. Now what we're going to do with that space above the little triangles that we made, we're going to fold the flap down on the bottom and up on the top. And it will fold right on top of the triangle that we made. And part of it will cross over and be on the outside of that triangle. Let me show you what that looks like. How are you doing? Does anyone want to ask a question? Would you like to break in with your microphone right now and tell me? We're just watching so you can go faster.
Can you use any type of paper?
Oh, I'm so sorry. This was specifically for notebook paper. It was a book in our library, and I thought I would just start with that because I didn't expect anyone to have origami paper. And origami paper is a square, so any type of square. And if you have the notebook paper, we are going to make a square. We're going to do 3 designs. This is the first. And one of the designs, we're going to create a square with the notebook paper. But I'm going to show you my collection of beautiful origami paper that I ordered over the course of the summer. And it's so beautiful, and it was an inspiration to me just to see all the beautiful paper. So that was kind of a long answer to your question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, the magic is that all you have to do is put your hand inside, both hands inside, and open it up. And you have this box. I think it's an amazing, simple design. You don't have any of the fancy origami squash folds and so many things that origami uses in the advanced designs. So here's the box. When I show the children this in the program, thanks, Gail. I hope you were able to make it. Of course, you can watch the recording over again if you want to. Gail thinks it's awesome. I'm glad. So what I did, I have all these, I have some of the origami that I'm going to show you all in these boxes on the table because they're actually really useful. I'm thinking the children might like them because you can decorate them when they're flat. And, oh, you mean on the surface, Terry? I would need a webcam to do that. And then I'd have to switch back and forth. So that's what I'm going to use for the program. I'm sorry if that's going to be kind of an inconvenience. But yes, you do have to fold on the table in front of you. I could, do that. I'm not able to do that right now. Okay, thank you, Terry. If you want a private lesson, I'll give you one. I'd be delighted to give you one. Okay, the next design is that basketball hoop. I think I'm going to use a pink piece of paper just to be different. We're going to fold like this and then like that. So the top part of the paper will come down and meet the side edge. So the top of the paper is going to meet the horizontal edge. Let me fold that and you can see what it looks like. It won't go all the way down. In fact, this is how we make the square for the other design that I'm going to show you. And when I open it up, it's a diagonal. So if you think of it as taking this top edge and you fold it over so that top edge meets the vertical edge, you're going to have this space underneath. And that's the rest of the 11 and a half, or the 11 inch. That the square that we are going to make will be the 8.5. So we're going to take the other side and do the same thing, and we're going to have a diagonal. Most of the origami designs that I'm doing are symmetrical, so what you do on one side, you do on the other, which is very helpful. And here we have this X. The next step is important because looking at it this way, how it's facing you, it's called a mountain fold, because we're going to fold it back, and you think of this as the top of the mountain. So I'm going to fold that back. I'm setting it down on the table and line it up with that crease that you've made with the diagonals, and crease very firmly, and it looks like this. Okay, this is the part that's a little bit tricky. I pushed on the top, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'll show you. It's one of the basic bases. It's called, there's 12 different bases that start origami. And so someone can say, do a bird base, do a boat base, do the square base. And it's really good to be familiar with that because you know how to start. So we push the top of it, and it goes the opposite way. It kind of implodes. And then while you push in, the sides move the top down. Would anyone like me to? I know I don't expect this to happen, but if some of you got that, excellent. But if you're really interested, you can watch the recording. Okay, notice that on the side we have an opening here, and on the other side we have the same thing. It's symmetrical. Now what we're going to do with these bottom flaps, we lift up this flap, and the square, and this part that's left, we're going to fold over to the center. I'm going to go ahead and do both of these, and then I'll pick it up and show you. Okay, so underneath, we folded the sides that were left on the bottom to meet the center. And you go as far as you can. You can't go any further than the center because the triangle is above that. Okay, this is the part, there's always kind of a magic part to these designs, which I love. And so after you've done it and you get to that part, I'm like, oh, here's the magic. Yay, I can't wait till the magic happens. This is the basketball hoop that we're forming right here. So, there's an open part with both of these triangles. So you're going to take one side and curve both of them so you can put that point of one inside the other one, and it stays. I just think it's really clever. Some of the simplest things are the most clever. And so you fold these out, and it's standing. And isn't this a great thing to, when you have some, you can just wad up any little ball or anything you don't want. I had some fake dollar bills, and I was thinking, oh, this is fun. I have so much money, I can just make it into a ball and throw it away. I'm throwing money away. So here's this. And let me see if you all would like to do another one. I think it's really useful to know how to make a square sheet of paper, which is the traditional origami. And so, you know how we made the first fold? We're going to do that again, just like we did with the beginning of this basketball hoop. You take the top edge and you fold it over to the other side. And so we're making an 8.5 square sheet of paper. And I'm getting the scissors, excuse me. And I'm going to cut off the bottom as carefully as I can. And we're going to make this heart. So we already have one diagonal, and you can see this is a perfect square. Now we're going to take the diagonal and make it on the other side. I hope you all can hear me. Okay, my air conditioner just kicked in.
Yes, we can hear you great.
Okay, thank you. So we're now going to take this top and we're going to make the point go right to this intersection. In the bottom, we're going to fold up to meet the point at the intersection once again. And let me go ahead and make this fold. Oh, you know, I'm sorry. We take that bottom and we fold it all the way up to the top. So this crease shouldn't be here. That's okay. And then we're going to do this to both sides. So I'm taking what I did on that side. We take this and we align it to touch the center. So we get this. So it's starting to look more and more like a heart. You turn it over on the back, and these points are going to touch the top of that first big crease that we made. So it's going to look like this. There we go. And then only one more fold. We're going to take this outside edge here, the top one, and fold it right there to meet that the other fold. And do the same thing on the opposite side. And there you have a very simple heart. And I like this because you can open up the inside and you can write a message. You could decorate the outside. And I'm thinking that kids will really like this. Actually, I made one for my daughter and her husband when it was their anniversary. And it was on some origami paper, and I just wrote happy anniversary on the inside, and my daughter was delighted with it. My mom made a card. So let me show you some of the things that I'm going to do this summer. Let me show you some of the flowers. Here's roses. Here's a dahlia. And then I made it with some of the pretty origami paper I was telling you about. Here's a lotus. And here's Kurusama is what it's called. they look really different with different paper. Thank you. Kristen likes them. I appreciate that. I included some of the designs in the packets for the kids. Actually, I made now there's origami that uses dollar bills or US currency. And so I got some paper money, which was actually kind of expensive. Alma, do you have a question?
No,
Yes.
no, sir. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that the flowers are really beautiful, and I like the logo. So yeah, I expect for you to show it to us later. The flowers.
Thank you. Yeah, everything that I've made, I've gotten from YouTube. And actually, I'm not giving you links because all you have to do is go onto YouTube and say simple origami flower on the YouTube search, and you will get all of these. The key to making the ones I've made are simple designs, and so look for the ones that are maybe 3 to 5 minutes. There's some origami you'll see that take 35 minutes to make. But the beauty of
Pretty, yeah. Yeah, sir. I mean, thank you. I got the 3 pieces you showed today. So I like it.
Have you seen some of the incredible origami?
No. I just got the 3 that you showed today. I mean, I got it and I like it. My pieces are nice. The ones that you just showed today.
Oh, thank you. There's a lot of different rose designs, and I tried them, and this ended up being my favorite. It was simpler and it was prettier, so that's another thing you can explore. What's so great about YouTube is, and I know it sounds cliche, but YouTube really was made for origami. That's why there's so much on it. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad, Evelyn, that you're enjoying this. Oh, certainly. So I suggest that you really buy some origami paper just on Amazon. You can get a big box of 1,000 sheets, and it'll be $15 to $19, but it will last you forever. Also, if you actually have some bills, I don't really have any cash with me, so of course I was going to use these, and I made these for the kids, and I'm going to say, well, some of you were really lucky and you got $50 bills, and they'll go, oh. So this is a butterfly bookmark. I made the kids cranes and a butterfly bookmark and a heart. So I actually did make this for a birthday gift with a $20 bill, and then it has kind of a triangle in the back, and I put a quarter. And here's a heart that's different than the one we made before, but nonetheless, it's a heart with a dollar bill. So these are specific origami with a dollar bill. They're not traditional Japanese origami, which is always a square with origami paper. But this was 2 modules, and it's a ninja star. I didn't know what ninja star was, but it's so hard to show things with this little thumbnail that I am in the bottom of the screen with Blackboard. So there's the ninja. And so those are a few of the things that I plan to do with the students. We'll see how it goes. This is something I'm really proud of. I made this in July, and it's called Fireworks. I had to really work at this 3 different times. It's made of modules. When there's multiple parts to something, and some of those flowers had multiple parts. And it's okay to glue it when it's called for. So these are the modules. I just want to show you this first, what they look like. It has 3 points on the top, And this was made with the traditional, most of the origami paper I have, it's blank on one side, and then it's called two-sided origami. And this is what the best thing, because you know when you make those creases, when you fold it at the beginning, for instance, this way, you want it to meet. You don't want any of the opposite side showing. So it's very useful to hone your technique. I made this summer, and it's made of 12 of those modules that I just showed you, and you hook it together. This is called fireworks. So I'm just turning it each time for you, and it's hooked together by folds. And so it's nothing but 12 different modules folded together. And I was absolutely amazed by this. Do you all like this? It took me 3 times because I had to make the creases very carefully. Here's another one. It's a star box. I was delighted by this too because that one is just really outstanding. Thank you. I'm proud of myself for that one. Here's a star box. There's 2 different types of butterflies. This one is a very simple design. So that's what I'm going for, because you know, like most things that take a lot of skill, you really have to be patient and work at it. If you like detailed work, and maybe if you're kind of a type A personality, kind of perfectionist, here's a little 2 tiny little butterflies I made. So origami started back in the 6th century, and before that it was in China, and it was reserved for the wealthy, and paper was very valuable then, and so it became a pastime and also something that was made for rituals and weddings, and even now it's made for weddings. There's one of the staff at the Northwest has a brother who's married a girl from Japan, and she's making the 1,000 paper cranes for her wedding. And so this young man and his brother, somehow for 2 days straight made 1,000 paper cranes too. It is said that if you make the 1,000 paper cranes, which was another part of my motivation besides just the challenge from the origami class, was to make a wish, and it's supposed to come true. I was really motivated by that. On another note, the way the paper crane, the 1,000 paper crane, came to be famous and connected with Sadako and the paper cranes is that Sadako was born at the advent of the A-bomb in 1945, and so she grew up with leukemia, and at age 12 she passed away. Now she was in the process of making the paper cranes to cure her illness, and she did not finish making the paper cranes. And so her classmates finished them for her. It's in the Children's Memorial. I have to look on my notes for this. It's in Japan. It's a Children's World Peace Museum, and it's in Hiroshima. It has a statue of her with her cranes. And there's also one of Sadako, is her name, in Seattle. So I want to show you my paper cranes. They're in 2 big boxes. I hope you can kind of see this. It's really deep. And so I wanted to make them all very colorful. So, and I'm not leaving them in the box. I was telling Kristen that I'm going to make 2 chandeliers. I found a flat disc and I'm hanging them. Oh, thank you so much for that link, Kristen. It will look something, oh my goodness, the thread just slipped through. The way I've connected this is I have one crane here, and then I have upholstery thread and a needle. And if you look at the crane, oh, I hope I'm showing this. Okay. You can see that there's actually a hole in the design. You can go through the bottom and then right through the top. Probably most of you, if you look on YouTube also, you'll be able to see so many strings of these paper cranes. And this also happened during the pandemic, that people would when New York was so bad, they would send paper cranes in the mail to people in New York, because it has become a sign of peace and good fortune and goodwill. So that's a very effective, material way to send hope and blessings to other people. I want to show you some of the origami paper. And then after that, I'm just going to show you how, from our databases, I won't go into that very much, because just to show you how popular origami is. This is marble paper, and once again, this has the opposite side that's a different color, and this paper came in different colors. And then, and also, I mean, it just says value pack, and it's this beautiful paper. These are all going to be 6 by 6. You'll see 15 by 15 centimeters. So it's 6 inches by 6 inches, and that's what you'll see. I'm just going to say that's what 100% are going to be that size, and it's a very workable size. These are kimono patterns. They're beautiful, and so maybe after seeing these, it was very inspiring for me to make those cranes. Do you see this one has cranes on it? And it was also fun to see, oh, I wonder what color they're going to put on the back of this one. What complementary color? Fans. And there's so many different patterns in this set. And it's also 200 sheets. I look for these on Etsy or Etsy. Oh, there's so many different designs. Let me show you the crane. So here's one of these pieces of paper, for instance, and the crane just became a symbol. And actually, I don't know how, but I think it's such an appealing design. It's so sweet, and at the same time, I think kind of magnificent. Am I answering your question, Kristen?
Yes.
You will see whatever design it is, you will see the pattern. And so you have to fold it a specific way to start out, so you get the pattern side on the outside. When I make the paper cranes, I'm going to stack them like this. Okay, great. It's going to be on YouTube. I always wanted to be one of those people. Okay, here's one that's 500 sheets, and I mean a bargain, just to show you how thick it is. And I wish we had time. You might be delighted to see all the different patterns. This is specialty paper. There's 12 different kinds of origami paper, and I found that some work better for some designs because they're a different quality, and either it doesn't tear or it's a little bit heavier. So depending on what I'm making, I found that one type of paper may be better than another. This has different pictures of Japanese women. There is even holographic paper. And this is one of my favorites, music paper. I've made a lot of hanging, I call them crane chains. I don't know what, if that's just a name I made up, where I use the upholstery thread and the beads, and I make a chain of cranes that you hang. I've made so many of those for my friends and family, and I'm not anywhere near finished. This is another one that has different designs. Also, speaking of the perfect square, do you all know those page-a-day calendars? I love birds, and I discovered, to my delight, that these were perfect squares when I tore them off. And I saved them anyway because I love birds, and I couldn't part with any of these. But now when I gave the students in their origami packet that are in the class, I used these bird pages, and I thought it was appropriate since they're cranes. Well, it looks like we're getting kind of to the end of the time, but I wanted to show you another one of my favorites. This is a nebula. And then I love these because it's snow and trees. Especially now I love these because it's snow and trees in the winter time. So, I just wanted to mention something that I found very interesting. It was an article in the database, and it's the Museum of Natural History in New York City. They made the Origami USA is an organization in the United States, and they made a 14-foot origami Christmas tree. And that same group made ornaments that complemented the collection, and it was just happened to be biodiversity in different animals. And so I think, yeah, I would just love to see that. It's kind of like a Chihuly glass thing, but I would love to see a 14-foot origami tree and then have all these incredible ornaments, lifelike looking animals that these truly expert origami people made. Let me just tell you, on the databases, I just put in origami in the EBSCO Discovery Service. It's the first search engine that you come to, and for origami there was 158,033 hits. Thank you very much, Kristen. It's from the library page. And news items, 122, 759, magazines, 9,691, academic journals. Now this was a surprise, 8,097. Reviews, and then there's ebooks, origami and education, 28,542. I actually had my my other computer up because I wanted to read you some of the titles of these journal entries that are so complex. It's used in industry, it's used in every industry and they're highly technical. It's used a lot in education. Origami has so many truly academic as well as enjoyable uses. I don't know, well, I'm not going to ask you to do that search, Kristen. The only other thing I wanted to say is that I hope that maybe you'll look into origami. It is an art form, and it's considered such around the world. And once again, if you go into YouTube and you type in famous origami artists, and they've displayed in museums. Thank you, Patricia. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You will be amazed at what these artists do. So I hope, if anything, that you look up on YouTube, famous origami artists, and you can find, you'll be amazed at these people and their creations with one sheet of paper. Now this paper, to make a huge origami, will be a room-sized sheet of paper, if you can imagine. And also the designs that are on YouTube from the origami artists may be of lesser, not really lesser distinction, but not an origami artist in the sense of an aesthetic artist. They make up these designs. There's a famous one who's a physicist. So the more I look into origami, the more I'm impressed with it. So I hope you all enjoyed just this brief introduction to origami. If you have any more questions about it, I wanted to say from the library page also, you can go into the library's virtual chat and ask the librarians there about origami, and that same search that I did, if you're interested, you can do this yourself. Thank you, Edith. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You can ask those librarians anything you want, and they will help you. Thank you all so much. I enjoyed presenting this for you, and I hope you enjoyed it.
You did. Thank you so much. And you did a great job. It was a very good lesson for all of us just to kind of start beginning to learn how to do it. And Sarah told me she's only been doing this for a year, and some of those that you showed us are so incredibly intricate. So you've done a great job. So thank you so much for the session.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Alma.
Yes, and so thank you for giving us this great introduction. As I said in the chat, this video will be posted on the EPCC YouTube channel. So if you kind of like to go back, show maybe some of your family members how to do it. I think they were really interesting. They're really easy and fun to do. So I hope you all share this video with other people as well. And so I'd like to thank Sarah for being here today. She's going to be doing our summer program for children at the Northwest campus also, teaching them origami. I think they have about 300 children enrolled, so that's going to be a neat summer program. And I'd also like to invite you to come back next Monday. We're going to be having another presenter from counseling named Lolo Mercado. He's going to be talking about the patterns of successful students. It'll again be at the same link at 1 o'clock next Monday. I've also put in the chat where you can see a link to get Tejano passport points. By attending these workshops, you do have a link that you can go to that I posted in the chat, and it will give you points towards earning a medallion. So you can earn these medallions by signing up at epcc.edu/services/Tejano passport, and then you can enter that code that I gave you in the chat. And if you wouldn't mind also filling out our survey, let us know how we're doing, how you like the programs, and if you have any suggestions, we're welcome to open to any of your comments. So I hope you all have a great day and hope to see you next week again. So have a great day.